All right, welcome to the Oh My God I'm Launching podcast. I'm your host, Ken Muskar, and today I got a guest that's coming back to us for the second time, actually. It's Adam Kiddoo, and welcome, Adam.
Woo woo! Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too. It's
Mhm.
awesome to have you back. You've been on the podcast before. We talked a little bit about just being ourselves and having the right energy and just alignment and all of that juicy stuff when we're launching. But this time around, you are coming up with a launch as well. You're coming up with the Heart Centered Selling Mastery course that you got.
Yep.
I was fortunate enough to be joining you that first time, or the beta version of that.
Yep.
And I gotta say, I don't regret that at all. It was really eye opening in the sense that you just the way you explain it to the rest of us is that it's just okay to basically be you and just be you authentically and speak from the heart, whatever is on your mind, just get it out there. And it changes your messaging in such a huge way. So I just want to mention that because I think that was like the biggest thing that I got out of it. So hopefully there's somebody else who's listening in on this and looking for some of the same clarity that I got from this.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ken. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No problem. So yeah, we're talking about the launch that you got coming up. When is it that you're opening the doors for Heart Selling Mastery?
Yeah. So we have a 3-part live training, free series that we're putting together where we're going to be covering a lot of conversations around how people perceive sales, because if your mind's not on track with sales and how you
Mm-hmm.
want to show up and the type of game you're playing, then your behavior is going to be very resistant in trying to grow your business. And so we want to be able to rewrite the conversations around what sales really is. And also, I take a stand point from an energy conversation to where I'm big into managing my energy and making sure I feel good, because there was a point in time where I used to get in sales conversations. I would feel slimy and slicky or sleazy, and I feel like I was pushing and prodding people, and it just wasn't a great experience for me. And I know it wasn't a great experience for the people on the other end as well. So managing your energy, making sure your intention is in a very powerful place. And also, I'm going to share with you guys in this free 3-part live training series more about how to speak to people in a way that actually lands with people, because I know a lot of us, we like to just speak at people and, hey, get it already, and you need this. But there's a much more powerful and effective way that's in alignment with your energy and your big heart, that's going to allow you to connect deeper with your audience. And
Mm-hmm.
so these are some of the conversations we're going to be having on the 3-part live training series that kicks off October 14th.
October 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday, October 14th. Yep.
Get it
It's my
in the
birthday
calendar.
month too. So
Oh,
we're kicking
really?
into, rolling into that with a celebration. So
Awesome. Um, what I really liked about what you taught is the thing that you just mentioned here, the just managing your energy, because that's something that I really took in, and also the part about not speaking at them, but rather just speaking the language that they are speaking.
yeah.
That was a huge game changer for me. Want
Yeah.
to tell us a little bit more about how that works and how you see that?
Yeah. I'm a very visual person, and I kind of just get these flashes sometimes, and I know enough to follow my intuition, if you will. And I got this vision just right now of a laser versus a spotlight. A
Hmm.
lot of times we have our attention on a lot of different things. We're kind of living as the spotlight, which is good if you want to cover a lot of ground in the short term. Sometimes, you do need to set up your business and, build out some things, but that becomes a safety zone for a lot of people. They get used to, doing their graphics on Canva and writing their IG bio the 500th time, and they're doing all these things on their websites and building all these landing pages and the email automations and all this, but they're not really honoring their value. They're not really connecting with people. They're not really selling.
Hmm.
And so that's a big missing piece. And also, it comes down to a component of this personal power that we all have inside of us. And this personal power, if we have it scattered all over the place with all these different projects and all these different moving pieces, it's diluted. But if we are honoring our gifts, honoring our message, and we become more like a laser to where we're focused, we have our attention and intention, set in a powerful place that's in alignment with us and our hearts and the work we're here to do, that's when your business really starts to take off. That's when you get momentum. And that's when people see you as a force to be reckoned with.
Mhm.
Somebody they want to partner with, somebody they want to buy with, somebody they want to learn with. But yet again, we get caught in this safety zone because it's safe to sit behind the scenes on the computer and learn all these different things. And it's vulnerable to put ourselves out there and to ask for the sale. So that's something that I talk about in the video series as well, and something that has made a huge impact in my life and business, because I was worried about the finances, and I was worried about the relationship with my significant other, and I was worried about this. Then I try to show up powerfully online, and I don't have power because I
Mm.
was diluting it. I was giving it all away. So that's made a huge impact in how I show up and in the results of my business as well.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that goes on behind the camera, basically. And if you're not dealing with that, then obviously that's going to affect how you show up with your energy, and just, yeah, in general, just showing how you show up, right?
Yeah. And our brains are designed to seek out that is unstable or uncertain, because we are survival, we're survival beings, right? We want to survive. But when you can stop merely trying to survive and being worried about this, that, the other thing, stop spending so much time out in the future, worrying
Hmm.
about how things could happen, or if I'm going to be able to afford this, or if I'm going to be able to do that, and instead bring yourself back to this moment, this powerful moment right here and right now, where you can create anything. But
Yeah.
most people aren't settled enough. They're not, certain and confident enough to be in this moment now, because they feel like they got to fix things, or if they're beating themselves up for the past, or I should be further along and all this stuff. Yet again, we're giving our power away. And so
Mm.
my whole thing is just come back here and show it powerfully, because there's people right now, wherever you stand, whether you see it or not, because there's a whole conversation about, our value. It's like, but who am I to do this? And I'm not ready for this and all this stuff, but you still have value. You still have the potential to change people's lives. And there's people on your path right here and right now that need your help. But we like to get ready, and make sure that we're certain that things are going to work out before we go. But if we are playing that game, we're going to be waiting on go for a long time, and our people are going to be waiting as well. And the world basically stops if we stop. So that's honestly how I see what I'm doing. But there was a time to where I was so caught up in how I looked, and trying to make my money and my success and my fame and all this stuff. But when I shined that laser more on being of service and helping the people that I'm here to help, kept my attention in that place, I naturally started having this urge to move forward. It's the craziest thing. So
Mm.
that's it. That's it in a nutshell. And it sounds so simplistic and so easy. It's focus on your people and come to love and have compassion for those that you are here to help. It's not easy always to see in your mind how that's going to, come together. But as Ken and my mentor, Mr. James Wedmore, says often, is forget the how for now. Like, we don't need to know how. It's just trust that, there's people out there for you. And if you keep moving forward, the pieces will appear. Just like I said about, intuition, like you have these senses that are coming to you. You have the information, you have the knowing, you have the resources to help people right now. But your mind, if you let it, will overthink, and it will allow you or keep you safe and stuck from moving forward. So if you're working from your heart, you will move forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's so important, that thing you touched upon about thinking about the future, or living in the future, basically, and also just having all this baggage of the past that you're bringing with you,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about being here right now, being in the present, and not worrying about the future, because we cannot predict it. We don't know what's going to happen. Although, sure, we could have an estimated guess, I suppose, but but we really don't know. And obviously, what happened has happened. That's in the past. We can't change that. So all we can do is kind of start all over again this day, today, but you just have a little bit more knowledge than you did the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a weird, wacky conversation. And when we think about the future, most of us are actually pulling from the past.
Hmm.
So if we're pulling from the past, oh, this last launch, and this is what's actually possible, and this is probably what's going to happen because I've seen a similar movie before in my past, then we are essentially just repeating the past. But yet again, if you can start to see the future not as you think it's going to be, but as you would love it to be,
Hmm.
that's one thing. It's kind of like the whole law of attraction conversation. Are you more excited and willing to move forward if you're seeing your future as bright and open and expansive and beautiful and powerful to where you're helping a lot of people? Or are you seeing it as, man, this this launch might not work out, and I need XY people in order for this to be profitable, and we're looking so short term sometimes. And anytime we're really getting into doubt in the future, I had this quote on my marker board for years that I would read often. It says, "Fear is getting out into the future without the resources we have available to us right now."
Mm.
I'll say that again. Fear is getting out into the future in our minds without the resources we have available to us right now. That means we're getting out and we're thinking and we're worrying, but we're not taking our heart. We're not taking our past experiences. We're not taking our knowledge and wisdom. We're not taking our sense of humor, our quick-wittedness. We're not taking any of those resources. So we're out there naked in the future. And we're not playing a fair game in our mind. So I'm saying, if you're going to be in your mind thinking about what could happen, take your resources, because otherwise we're just casting doubt on what's ahead of us and we're living from the past. But yet again, when you can be here in this moment and know that you're a creator, there is the law of cause and effect out there. Right here and right now, I'm causing my future, whether I like to see it that way or not. Here after I get off this episode with Ken, if I just go, binge the rest of the day and eat a whole bag of Cheetos, that causes something in the future, right? I'm going to have to work off that, and probably have a Cheeto hangover tomorrow or whatever. But there's cause and effect. So what am I essentially causing? And when I'm worrying, when I'm doubting myself, I'm just causing more room for worry and doubt.
Mm.
And so I've trained myself to be in the moment. And trust me when I say, I probably spend, and I had a mentor that broke down the amount of time that we really are present, and it's like 0.00001%. Like
Yeah.
when you're really in a flow state and like you're zoomed out and like you're not thinking at all, it's a very slim amount of time. And I've trained myself to be in the present, more more than I used to. And also, I see it. I have negative thoughts, right? And I have these thoughts that are pulling for my attention and saying, "Well, what if this?" But I've trained myself to know, if I have a thought that does not feel good with me, it causes disconnect. Then I know in the instant. And yet again, I'm human. I mess up too. I get in rabbit holes too. But I've trained myself to know that negative thought just popped up as a reminder for me to come back to the present moment.
Yeah.
So now I'm no longer seeing these negative thoughts as bad things. And why did I think that? And what, and all that. We put so much emphasis on our thoughts, and our thoughts are merely BS. They're just designed to keep us safe and stuck. And I don't want to, I don't want to say stay safe and stuck. I've done that before. I've been in a depression back in 2014 where I could barely freaking move. I don't want to go back there. So now I know if I keep my attention and intention on helping more people and leading with love and being a good person and caring for the people in my life, then I'm going to naturally gravitate towards that. So that's where I work from.